All right, guys, so we're gonna do some film breakdown here of some scrims that we had for this one night. We got one game here. We'll see if we do two, I'm not sure, but this is the I think the third scrim that we had of the night. It's against an AHL squad, so a little bit tougher competition. We faced an NHL level team, an ECHL level team, and then we played this team, an AHL squad. So pretty decent in terms of the level of competition, I guess, that we had compared to the teams that we have been facing recently, though. But so here I'm playing right wing. We got two guys here that I play with pretty decent amount. I would say I play with the centerman a lot. Play with the left wing a few times. So there is some chemistry here when it comes to the offensive side of the game. Defensively, we're kind of just evaluating us as a whole right now. I haven't played too much right wing. I would say right wing for me is the least that I've ever played, really, out of the three, role positions on the ice. When you look at center, wing, and defense, I played the winger the least. So in terms of what I know from a competitive sixes standpoint on right wing, it's kind of more based off what I see from other guys, and I try to implement it into my game. So the first play here, we try to go with an outside route. Here, there's no call out, but you could already see, though, that we're kind of more so in line with each other, which is the first step that you want to have when it comes to the controlled break-in against a trap, right? So this team is showcasing a trap, kind of a weird trap in my opinion, but it's basically a trap nonetheless. Wingers here, they can sort of control the pressure on us or forecheck if they wanted to. The centerman kind of eyeing up the opposing center, and then the defensemen, no, they're not really lining up that, but they're basically just back, right? So that's kind of what they're trying to cover. What I do here, right, is sort of a cut in and then back out, right? What I'm doing is I'm reading the winger that's on my side, depending on what he does. If he's taking away my inside, my initial cut will be in, and then if I see that the outside is more open, I will then cut back out, right? Now, if I had just kept going to the right, that pass would have hit me, or if I kept going up, I mean. We do eventually get it, but then I turn it over, whatever. Goes back the other way, 2-on-2 rush, back door, and they're able to get it. That's just unfortunate. It comes based off the turnover that I had, right? I got the puck. I had a chance to... I was trying to read... I was trying to hit red here. I could have went back. Green was sort of here. He could have played around. I could have hit him as well. So there's like always three potential options that you want to look for. I don't know why, but my guy just completely missed the pass that I was trying to get to. I think I was attempting to hit green from that standpoint, but obviously how I passed was horrendous. Goes back the other way. I feel like we're in a decent spot here, 2-on-2 rush. It's just we give up the inside on the back door, right? It just kind of came with a poke check instead of just holding his leverage on the inside of that guy and kind of skating with him, putting his back almost to him. That would have helped him out in that case. But still, it's it was a defendable rush, right? Considering that we had the numbers in place. But it's a bad turnover on my end anyway. We work it back. Now they decide to forecheck. So now you want to look to work it up. Red takes the outside here. I try to go backdoor for him. It's good pass, right? Good shot. It goes off the defenseman. He's able to save a goal there. So we almost had the exact same play done right back to them. Now back the other way again. Good stick though, right? From the defense, work it back to the middle. This is kind of what you want to almost kind of work, be careful with a little bit. I feel like Red in this case should have almost held the inside, right? To have almost two guys go for the puck here to open up this pass. You can't expect Teal to kind of work his way to that guy already, like as that's happening. If Red's on a guy, we don't really want him to move away from that guy unless there's a clear sort of clear option for somebody to take his man right away if he's going to go and push, right? Or if he's able to take the play away initially. As soon as he pushes, I guess. So I try to work it out. Let's see. Controlling what's open, what's open. I find Red there. Backdoor feed. So I do like the patience play that I had there, right? When I'm waiting for some kind of like cut which is what Red eventually did. He's working off the half wall, which is good to sort of draw guys to that spot. And then you kind of work towards when they do decide to push me, make a pass there. And now it opens up a potential backdoor feed, right? Or a cross crease shot, or maybe attempt right to the net. There's a couple options to open up there. The defenseman played a night, kind of nice though. Decided to take it. I got hit, so it stopped me from being able to continue on there. Teal controlling. Just not able to get very kind of, yeah, like I mean, he's able to get in, but there's not enough time really to make it. I don't know. This is where it becomes a little bit difficult from the centerman position, right? Because same thing happens to me a lot, where there's not too many lanes that we could take as a centerman, I feel like. Because it's like everybody, you got 3 potential guys that are anchored towards you. They're going to anchor more towards the middle, in more times than not give up the outside, right? That's more so for these wingers to almost play man-to-man by themselves, right? You know? It's just, there's not a whole lot of options for Red. He's not going to be able to break free. Like, they're just going to collide in on him. If he's able to either get that pass and then immediately move it to somebody else, but like we would have to almost be in stride matching him when we're on the wings, right? Trying to get into the zone and be an effective man, or effective lane for him to pass to. I don't know. Be able to take it, go to the outside. Great poach check. I went right into him. Fucking insane. I didn't even have to do the fucking LT spin. I did that the whole 180 for no reason. So a little LT pivot to the outside was just enough. I decided to spin all the way around, open up the freaking puck right to him for a poach check. He was able to get it. Now I want to establish a trap. I think we're fine where we're at. Yep, it's good defensive play back the other way. So we're not like getting outplayed right now. See, there's a good play, right? So this is a pass here, and it's like a option play, right? So if Red somehow opens up there, there's a pass to him, or there's a pass over to Green. But there's always 2 potential passes that we're trying to make. But we're obviously not going to try and hold that puck for so long. I know the guy, technically, that was trailing, number 9, could have easily poach-checked that prior to that pass, I feel like. That's kind of the quick looks that we're trying to find in the offensive zone, right? You have to be able to move the puck kind of quickly. So it's just quick pass. It's like a give and go to somebody else, right? And that's kind of a quick look that we were trying to find there. Those are good high percentage plays. We're trying to move it again. Green back to me. So you can see, look, we're moving the puck. We're just not able to get like that real nice touch right at the end. The real like last finish touch offensively. But we're still moving it nice, right? I mean, I like it. Go here again. Buy some time a little bit. What opens up? Cut back door. I mean, I like that. Able to buy enough time. Work it. I mean, it's just crazy, though, how we haven't scored yet. I feel like we should have by now. Now we got Red. I take it. Yeah, monster hit. Penalty there. So, I mean, I don't think what I do on the winger position is anything crazy, but if there's any of our guys that are watching this back or live potentially, if you're going to play winger, you have to be better than me playing winger, I feel like. I don't think what I do is anything super high level. I think what I do is comes from a very simple standpoint in sixes. I mean, there's some things like, a lot of it is understanding the mechanics of the game from like a very simplistic standpoint. Like, you have to know where you have to be on the ice. You have to know what type of cuts you're trying to make, you know, where you're going, what your role is as a support factor. When it comes to defense, right, for wingers. Offensively, you kind of have to have that creative offensive touch with the puck control, right? At least a little bit, being able to control the puck. what I find a lot of guys doing is sometimes doing either too much, or they just are not moving it, or they're simply just not moving it quick enough. I mean, I don't even know. I don't think this is like tough to really understand. Understand a little bit, you know. I don't even think what I'm doing is crazy, but like for some reason I was just randomly finding these cut plays. I mean, in my opinion, this is a bit more high level winger wise than I've played ever playing right winger. When it comes to finding the lanes, if you're gonna watch this back from my standpoint, like you're trying to play left winger, right winger, just take a look in terms of how I'm cutting, where I'm cutting, and sort of like the idea of the read that I'm making, because there was zero call outs from any of the defensemen, but that should not stop your ability to sort of find the ice here. I mean, it's a very simple read. This guy's holding outside. I'm going to cut to his inside. There's nobody here to even taking my inside away, right? So this guy blew the coverage. Straight out, the defenseman blew the coverage. I cut right to his inside. I find the lane, and now it's a backdoor feed yet again that the goalie comes up big on because we get a backhand shot. But that's because he's a righty, you know, going backdoor. He's not able to flip his hips and tap it in forehand-wise, right? He's not going to be able to do that from that angle. But like, I don't think that's a difficult play. But it's like tough for some guys to see and read that. You got to be able to read the path. Like, you got to be able to read the lane. And this is nothing that the defensemen are doing crazy, right? From a defenseman standpoint, if the forwards do not know how to cut to find the open ice, they're very limited offensively. There's not much they can do from a breakout standpoint to be high level, right? It's kind of like as if you think about it from like a quarterback and his wide receivers. The quarterback is only as good as what his wide receivers are doing. If he drops back and there's no wide receiver open, none of his receivers are open, what can the quarterback do besides have to make something happen out of nothing, right? If they're just not open, you can't play quarterback that well, right? So that's really what the defenseman position is offensively. I think it's a very simple thing. If you're going to try to play, especially from, you know, breaking this down from like, if you're going to try to play esports, this is a good team, first of all, to sort of match yourself up against, because these are AHL level guys, right? We played against an NHL level team prior to this, right? It was like the first game on when we played in the session. I can also take a look at that, I guess, later on as well. But if you're able to match up against these types of players, you have a pretty decent chance, right, of hanging when it comes to esports, right? Because these are the types of guys that compete in esports, right? If you're looking at it from contenders, I feel like there's more AHL to NHL potential. Obviously, main division is like literally high-level NHL players if you're gonna win. Like, that's just the reality of that. So if you're trying to, you know, gauge yourself a little bit, if you're able to match up against AHL level guys, you have a pretty decent shot then. But if you're not there, you know, it's just like sort of a benchmark in terms of how far off you might be. But any slots open later? Well, I'm not going to be playing any games tonight. I'm just kind of breaking down film. Kind of all I have right now for today. Every time, just to be clear, anytime we do scrims and stuff like that, I'm going to break down at least one of the games. I decided to do this live because I'm like, well, why not, right? Because I also might take a look at some other film later that came from, if anybody watched Caps Gaming, the esports tournament that happened, I think, a couple weeks ago, not too long ago. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago, I'm not sure. I was able to actually record some of that gameplay. I might actually break it down here live as well. I don't know. Depends on what I want to do. Could he have got it up sooner? No, I mean, you don't. He didn't really have to. If you're talking about that breakout play, I don't think he necessarily needed to, because again, it kind of just if he made the pass sooner than and maybe prior to me cutting, then I wouldn't have been able to make that cut. So it just kind of depends on, like, defensemen. When you're making a cut, you want to just what makes the most sense in terms of, you know, reading where your forwards are cutting, and you want to make the pass when he cuts, not before he cuts. It just kind of depends, right? Because you could send it up sooner when there isn't a need for a cut, you know, because it's so wide open or it's a quick transition, you're pressured. It just kind of depends. Like, Two had a lot of time and space to make a pass, so he has, you know, he can wait for us to break. Kind of like, again, when you're talking about a quarterback and his reading his receiver in terms of where he goes, if it's like an out cut or something, you wait for him to break on that out route, right? And then you make that pass on his, you know, back shoulder or something like that, whatever it is, right? So it's kind of the same concept here, right? When you kind of look at it from a defenseman pass to his forward, you kind of read the same thing. Let's see. And that's kind of what I'm looking at here, too, is like, how well do these defensemen read what is coming at them in terms of, like, here, like, there's a guy pressuring him. Is he going to be able to avoid it or move it, maybe drop it back, or you can even move it up if he wants, right? It's kind of tough, though, if he does move it up, because he doesn't really have, there's not really a lane open. Now I'm trying to just break it in. Like, this is what happens, right? When you have a guy that pressures, you got the rest of the guys back, right? All these guys are back. It makes it tough for really, us to do anything, right? Because, like, he has to avoid this check. He just simply has to, right? Because if he moves it up, I mean, unless somehow we get going with a lot of speed after, right? Which none of us are, we're not gonna be able to break it in. And here we go. It's like, here's like where it sort of crumbles, because we have like a sort of broken play that eventually gets to me. I get hit because, you know, the three guys are just lining up the check. You know, there's not much we can do there. It's almost like we should have rotated it back. If we are going to get pressured, simply just rotate it and then just reestablish. Where was I going on this play? So I'm technically back. So wait, hang on, because I get hit here. They move it up. Green takes it. He again gets hit, so it goes back the other way. I'm behind yellow, so I'm playing right D technically, right? I'm playing blue in this situation. Defense. I guess I was assuming that yellow, since yellow was to the outside of me, or I guess to the inside, technically, it depends on how you look at it. He's to the right of me, that I was assuming he was going to take away this backdoor feed, and I was going to go in pressure. I don't know. Yeah, I think that was the read that I was making, because I saw him to my right. So it's almost like I'm playing now temporarily lefty, because Tio had already, I guess, missed on whatever check he was making. I was going to go and push. He was going to cover here. So we have like this sort of defensive coverage happening. I don't know. I could have held inside to help him out a little bit, I guess, technically. But that's like another thing too. Like, you have to understand when you are in a rotation. Like, wingers play defense just, I'm not saying they do it as often as defensemen, right? In terms of like playing all the way back when there is a rotation. But these rotations happen. Like, it's a minus on me if I can't cover what I'm supposed to cover, because where I'm at is no different than if yellow is right here. So if we're going to knock back on defensemen, right? Because there is a lot of times, right? You get forwards blaming the defense for goals against, right? Well, if forwards are rotated behind the defensemen, or they're not doing what they need to do from a defensive standpoint, it is just as much of a minus on the forward that as it is on the defenseman not covering when he needs to. I never understood the whole purpose of like, oh, this defenseman sucks because of the goals against that are happening. When it's a team sport, right? And at any moment, we could be rotated on opposite positions, right? Where I could be playing temporarily winger as a defenseman, and the winger could be playing temporarily defense. But we're not going to get pissed off when the wingers are playing the defensive spot because they don't know how to play defense. Because, oh, they're a winger. They're not supposed to play defense, right? I never understood that kind of critique. And that mainly comes from guys that just simply don't understand the rotations of the game. Maybe that helps me as a winger. Maybe that helps the team too, because like I'm playing winger in a way where like I'm more of a support role factor defensively. Like I understand that side of it of the game as a winger. When not, you know, because of how much defense I play. I don't know. What I need to understand is what actually happened on this play. So I thought I was open, right? I was thinking this pass was actually going to get to me. Cutting to here, maybe I could take it to the outside. This guy would have been able to probably close me off, right? But it's just to like get into the zone and maybe, you know, Green wouldn't have to have cut in. He could have maybe maintained his path outside, right? And maybe it's a pass here, then that I find him outside, and maybe we make a play to the outside somehow, right? It's fine. It worked out, but I mean, we kind of handcuffed the defenseman here. Like, it should have then been a pass. If he's going to take it here, pass down low. We would have been able to work it behind net or something. Passing it to the point with two guys already there. Third guy comes in and gets it. Now it's not on the defenseman. Some guys will be like, well, yellow should have already been back, right? How? Explain. That doesn't really make sense, right? Because even he is sort of engaged offensively in the play here. He's already established in the zone, right? He's playing where that pass was. You would not have anticipated that. The only thing that he could have done was like as soon as there was any hint of a turnover, instead of going this way, he went directly backwards. But that's like having a very conservative, very defensive mentality, where maybe he could have, if he had gone completely here, he could have maybe been right here. And then now he's fighting one-on-one. But that's like, that's like peak defensive, like, and anticipation of a turnover happening. That's tough from a defensive standpoint. I don't care how you look at it. It's got to be sent down low. Like turnovers at the point, turnovers that happen at the point around this area, like high, it is very difficult to sort of prepare defensively for it. Whether it is on the defenseman for turning it over there, or it's on the forward that passed it back to the defenseman and handcuffed him there. It's difficult. Here, though, we got a chance. Got to make something happen. Cut to the middle. I try to stop. Now cut back down low and wide. I feel like I should have kept going around net here. I mean, it's not... I don't know. Maybe it's not a bad play, because if he makes that pass to me and I can somehow break free... Like, if that pass was already made to me instead of where it was, like, a tad bit later. Like, if it's right now, I get a pass here. It's on my blade, and I can maybe shoot a far side, short side. I have a little bit more options. But that's, like, super high-level read and pass, like, timed perfectly. It's tough to make that type of pass. But I think it could happen. Maybe with more chemistry in the, like if he knew I was going to go to the middle there. And that's like a read that he's made 100 times, right? Like maybe. I feel like we did. I mean, yeah, we're finding the one-timers. That's again getting blocked from the defenseman. The goalie would have been there anyway. I mean, you saw him diving over. We're on the power play, so I'm pushing. Two guys on. Yep. Here we press. Why am I not pressing? I don't know why I didn't press. I was like gliding, and I like glide back. It's got to be full press. I mean, we're on the power play, down by 3. I don't care if I'm on the right side of the ice. Now I'm chasing there, right? Like, okay. So now I'm trying to press. Quick up again. Take it wide. This is the only issue with now me playing winger in terms of just like being effective on the right side. Here it's like, why didn't I just go down low again? Like I started to go there, that I drifted back. It's like, okay. I mean, he could still technically swing it if he wanted to. Nobody closed off that lane. I mean, yeah, if he had swung it there, you know, I would have been effective there, I guess, to get it. Yeah, but I mean, he didn't need to, right? It's not like he was getting pressured anyway. But I'm just saying, in terms of like where I skate sometimes is like questionable. In terms of like, I don't know exactly where I'm going, and I don't think I need to overthink it at all. That was a poke check from behind. A quick up one-on-one now. Defenseman just stay over the top. That's all he's got to do. Really? Able to make a play happen, though. That's a good one-on-one offensive puck control play. Teal pushing. I can understand it to some degree, but I don't know if that's the right play. He did get back, though. That's a good-ass backtrack, if I've ever seen one. I try to quickly find red. Pushing there. Now yellow. Can he get in? We're able to get it off the bounce. Like the only way that works is if we're in close proximity to him. Like we're not even trying to go for him going in. Just simply get the puck in somehow. Even if he, you know, gets hit off, you know, and gets knocked on his ass. Good saucer pass. One-on-one play. Backdoor. They got it again. I think that this should be, yeah, it's just the same. It's exactly the exact same goal as the first goal, right? So the guy out-tees to the outside. Yellow kind of boxes him to that outside. And then it's a bad, I feel like it's that isn't a more simple backdoor cover, in my opinion. T1 for the same poke check again. I don't think he has to be aggressive on that. I think he just has to be more settled and just read what is there, right? So he can read that yellow is already established inside of that. He's already established that man. All he has to do is contend with this guy. Where does he go? You just want to match him, put your back to him. When that pass comes, you should be able to close him off. He just doesn't know how to man mark that appropriately. Now it's 4-0. I feel like we played a decent game up to this point. Like this is one of those weird things where it feels like we played better than what the score represents. Like we haven't scored. How? We could have easily gotten 2, potentially 3 goals. This could be a 1-goal game here. If you think about it, right? 10 to 8 shots. We had pretty decent high-level chances. Just not getting the puck through. Like, was the issue. So this is, again, right? Another read where I don't see... I don't think it's hard to, like, see, right? So the winger's not even playing it. I'm thinking inside cut. Where does the defenseman go? He goes inside of me. I'm going to go back outside to then control the puck to the outside. Hopefully open up more space. Why did I take a shot there? I mean, it's just not there. So I could have easily... I did everything right up until the point where I take a shot. I could have actually tried to force this back door if we want to really get there. Or potentially just a quick dish off to red, streaking through the middle maybe. Make the pass. Like, pass there. Because if I made that pass, right, to him, if he gets it here, he's got a chance for a shot or even a potential quick backdoor feed. If he gets it in time, I hold on to it. This is where, like, I just hold on. Like, there's a little bit too much puck control to the point where I actually screw myself offensively. Now we get it here. Shot there. Read option. The goalie's outstanding. That was that went off the post there. I think that went off the post. That went, yeah, that was like a back-to-back post shot. So, like, the goalie's getting luck up the ass. This is, again, where, I mean, I don't even know what's going on with the winger position. It's an easy entry back to me again. So now it's like, I go with, like, a little cut inside. I go with like a little cut. I like the fact that they're actually able to read it though. I mean, if I had the coverage on my side the way it is on the other side, like this guy's taking away green. Like if you're red, you want to be, I guess, a little bit more central so that he can make a cut there or there. He's more anchored to my side. It doesn't affect the break-in by any means, right? Because he did eventually cut left, which then hesitated the centerman a little bit. And the defense was not playing close to me. So it's like an easy entry to my side. The problem, though, that I have seen, is that we don't have wingers, this right winger. The past 2 sessions that are broken down, we don't have a winger that knows how to go here and then make a cut. What we have, right? I'm not trying to bash anybody by any means, but from the right winger position, what we have is guys that go here and then they'll like stop. They'll go here and stop, face the puck area. That does us absolutely nothing. What we have to do is go in with speed, whether that's a cut inside or a cut, or maybe staying along the boards, or potentially going here and then cutting back out. Like there's like 3 or 4 different ways of cutting if you think about it. You just have to understand what those cuts are, and then what read is being made. Now a call out could also tell you what to do, right? Like Teal could make a call out based on what he sees, or I don't even think what he sees, right? Because I've been taught a few different ways that a call out should be made prior to even seeing the trap, so that everybody just knows what they're doing. The problem, though, is that when you make a call out, this is the only critique to call outs, the call out could actually screw the team over based on where guys are going. So if, let's say, it's a you could simplify it by saying a left cut, or it could be a direct call out to me saying blue cut in. Now if I cut in, what would have happened if I can get the screen to not glitch because of the dumbass fucking software that I'm using every time I stop it? If it's a call out to go in when it is so free outside, that is the only downside to having that call out, right? Because, like, let's say if it is a cut in, then what that tells red to do is cut left. What that tells me to do is cut in. Now cutting in goes right into this guy. You know what I mean? Cutting left would go into there, and he wouldn't be able to find me, even though it's so free. It's so free to the right. That's the only downside to callouts, to having a specific callout made. And there isn't like an audible that could be made while the rush is happening. It's so fast you can't say, "Oh no, cut back out." You know, you're just not gonna be able to make that. So I don't know. There's some guys even at the NHL level that don't give any callouts, and it's strictly based off what they read. I don't know how teams do it, like how every single team does it. In my opinion, you don't have to necessarily go with callouts. It could be based on just what the defenseman sees from his forwards, but the forwards have to be able to understand what read to make. Like if I'm blue and I misread the play and I decide to cut in for the hell of it, whether it's a call out or not, I feel like that's just the wrong read. You know? Well, I mean, if it's a call, you can't make a read. You just have to go with the fucking call out. But that's like the downside to call outs, is that there could be, you could give a call out that screws the player in some way, where if he just made the read himself, it's such an easy play. It's such a free entry. But I do think that better teams that with, you know, they're not going to give up wide ass open seams. Like the winger wasn't playing, the defensive wasn't tight to me, so that's what opened it up. But I'm just saying, just based on that, that's like the only downside that I see to it. Now quick back up the other way. Backdoor feed. Good job there from Yellow. See, that is what Yellow is able to do. He does have quick pick on, so that does help him in that regard. But that's like proper position down to a T. I don't know how to... You can't be in a better spot. The only better spot that he probably could have been is if, like... Because there are times where, you know, your defenseman is in the perfect spot but doesn't go for the puck for some reason, right? It's like in these cases sometimes. I don't know if quick pick is the reason why he's getting it. Versus, let's say he didn't have it, it just goes through him. I don't think that's always the case, but there are some times where that happens. The only better spot that he could have been in would be then to be his skates right there, so that even if he doesn't go for it, his skates would have knocked the puck away. The issue, though, it shouldn't come down to that. I mean, what he's doing is what I would classify as perfect position. But to be more perfect based on what this game is. Again, I don't think this is a hard read. Again, like, we're anchoring it to the left. The centerman's not present. So if I stayed here, yellow or green can't get it to me. You know, you kind of just have to have eyes in terms of what you're seeing, right? So now I'm taking the middle lane because that's the only lane that could actually give me a passing option. Like, give me a passing lane for yellow to, or for green to make the pass. And then I just turn it over. Like, this is the part of me where, like, I do everything right up to this point. And now it's, I shit the bed. Instead of, you know, controlling it out wide, spinning, and then maybe making this pass there. No, I go right into it, try to force a pass that's just simply not there in time. Like, that's the downside to me playing winger so far. Good defense, good goaltending. Right the other way. Like, 4-0, you kidding me? And we tied them on shots. Like, we had just as many good opportunities as they had, and it's 4-0 game. That's just unfortunate. I don't know how you say it. That's like, okay, so what I'm thinking, like what I was feeling was actually not wrong, because while I was playing, I felt pretty good about the game. Like, I felt pretty good about all the games that we played. It's just, you look at the score and it's like, it just doesn't reflect that. But then I'm like, well, nah, we look at, like, look, time on attack, very similar. We could have very easily had, the score could be flipped, if anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how crazy this game is. I mean, honestly, though, the goalie that they had was absolutely locked down. Like, every single thing. And he had a couple posts saving his ass. That's all that I can really say to that, really. But I don't know. I feel like this is probably the best that I've played winger-wise. And I mean, obviously, there's still, like, a ton of improvement needed. But, like, I don't classify myself as being esports ready at the winger position. So if you're looking at this and you in some way, you're like, you know, sort of impressed in terms of what's being seen, you know, done on the ice. I don't know. You kind of just want to have a benchmark. Like, you have to be better than me playing right winger to compete in esports. I don't think what I'm doing is anything crazy. I mean, actually, so defensively, again, I'm holding middle because I don't see red there. That's probably why it pulled me. I'm not tight to the point, but I'm willing to give out the point anyway. Like, to be honest, right, most teams actually play more of this conservative defense, right? So again, from a defensive zone coverage, defensive zone standpoint, I consider the wingers to be support factors, right? So we cover the point, but not really at the same time. We help out with, like, our quadrants, if you want to, like, break down the ice. Our quadrants are anything here, if you think about it. From a winger position, this is my quadrant, and then this is the left winger's quadrant. This, you know, the defensemen are going to be kind of broken down this way, where they have pretty much everything here. Right D here. The centerman is going to have pretty much everything to the inside of all the quadrants, because they're just locked down through the middle. This is the centerman position. I know everything's kind of like weird, right? But that's how you want to look at the defensive zone if we're playing our spots, right? Because we could be rotated too and playing a different spot temporarily. That being said, though, I feel like, you know, as we're looking at our quadrants at the point, we have more of a emphasis in terms of support from, like, anything here and down, in which we could actually break through our sort of box, almost our sort of zone, to help out on, like, the half wall, right down here, even potentially in the corner. Like, we could support down low to that far, like to that degree. The problem that happens is that there's a lot of wingers that don't really necessarily know how to actually support like that. So here we just aren't able to get the puck up. They just quickly go back the other way. So Teal, okay, so Teal was pulled. Okay, so then what I did was fucking stupid. I don't even know where I was going. So I got hit. So Teal is playing temporarily left wing. He's like filling the lane, right? So Green rotated all the way to the right side, center here. Teal now is playing here, so that means that both yellow and blue, right? Me in this case, I'm playing defense, and then I go up for a lining up of a body check. I do think, though, based on what Teal did, that he could have, and unless his stamina was super low, he could have potentially raced back. I'm not sure if he didn't seem like he had enough speed on it. So I know that's not really on him. I don't even know what I was doing. I think this is where break-ins start to become more difficult for us for some reason. They just catch us on pressure plays. Like we're trying to break it in, and we're not moving it quick enough because of how they're pressuring. And now they're moving it north a little bit quicker as well. Good defensive play there. Can move it. Yeah, we just can't get it out. I mean, yeah, I think maybe he was trying to find Green. Just goes to me instead. He does the same play, right? Yeah, that's just, yeah. They're just man marking it. That's all it really is. So I tried to do the same cut, and again, I do think if a defenseman reads, well, it's not like I'm gonna be able to get in though. Like that's the only problem. He's reading red. Red is open technically. It's just red can't really do anything unless he moves it immediately to me. So now they're pressuring again. I go into that instead of going wide. I mean, it was the right pass. I just somehow went into him. Now back the other way. Yellow was in a good spot there. Just puck bounce and goes away. Touchman there. Had to play on that. Goaltender made a good save there. Can I take middle lane? I finally... I don't know why I made a pass to the right. Pass over to the left or skated a little bit and then find him. I don't know why I made a pass back over to red. That kind of handcuffed him. Yeah, we're trying. I don't know. It's just a lot of we're trying to move it and it's just going into them. Like we're not reading the pressure that's there. We're sort of giving it and going at a pace that is just simply like, wow. Yeah, we're all just... This is probably the worst period if you look at it. We pressured there. That's kind of tough. And then, yeah, we're all kind of all out of sorts defensively from that point. Yeah, they're just man marking it. Like, they're just lining up the timed pass. It's like there's so many of these passes that Red's getting, where the only way that Red can make a play is by immediately making a pass after. Like, getting absolutely wrecked, but making some kind of pass as soon as he gets it. It's like a quick-ass give and go. It's got to be the quickest give and go of his life. Sometimes every time he gets it. It's like the only issue. Even when I'm playing center, that's how I feel. Is like as soon as I get it. Damn, bro, I had it right to the inside. Go here. I don't know why did I go back to the right? Like, that's a good trap from Green. Take it, go in, and then yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. At this point, passes just weren't working. Based on where I'm at. Slow it down. I think it's the right pass. It just somehow misses Green. I don't know. And then, yeah, it's just... Again, because we lost it where we did, I mean, it's incredibly difficult as a defenseman to prepare for that unless you're already going back. Like, The only thing yellow could do is like if he reads that, you know, teal has pressure at the point, red is sort of high as well. The only thing he has to do is bail out. But that's like, we're down by 4. We're anticipating offense. We're hoping the puck goes our way. It doesn't. Then they go back the other way, which is like any type of motion. And then it's just 2-1-0. Big save. They sold hard there, but doesn't really matter. Cut play. I don't know. I think it's the right pass. Like, I don't know if he like this is where we need to have like both Green and I just kind of bailing out as soon as we can. Like 4-0, we need goals. He's making the right pass though. So Rez got it. I'm cutting back out wide. He tried to go for Green and somehow it misses him. Like, I don't know why that sometimes happens. It happened to the defenseman a lot the other night as well. Wow, what a goal, eh? I don't know how you explain that one. So from a defensive standpoint, what do you do, right? Because like he literally played defense to the point where he touched the puck and played about as inside as he possibly could on the pass. And then it just goes off him right to the blade of his teammate on the other side, right? Goes crashing into the goaltender, hits him, right? And then for some reason, there's no goalie interference on that. Because I guess he's driving with the puck, so that makes sense there. But in terms of a defensive, what could be done better, I don't really know if there's anything that Teal could have done better there that would have actually prevented the goal that happened. Like, the only reason that happened was because we're down 4-0. If we were up 4-0, the team doesn't get a bounce like that. I'm firmly sold. I don't know, Chet, if you're watching this live, do you guys believe in ice tilt? Because I firmly do. That because it's a 5-0 or 4-0 game at that point. And they not only that they were getting all the interceptions and shit prior to that. That like it sways the game a bit and helps them, right? Because again, that to me then means that the score does not reflect what is actually happening. Like the score reflects the momentum that a team gets for some reason, not actually what's going on the ice. Because the game was not that far out of reach. And we could even break down the first game, because the first game we played was against an NHL level team. I just don't like breaking down first game on, like, because the first game that we had was really like what you would consider a warm-up game, right? We could take a look at it, because I don't fucking know. So that's like the first shot we had all period, I think. I just don't think how we played was bad. Holy fuck. Yeah, but I think that's probably it for this. Let's go back to so the first game we played. Yeah, I think all these guys, I believe, are NHL guys. You know, if they're not, then they're at least AHL. But this is an actual team that we're scrimming, right? Okay. Good break in there. Even like, again, the first rush that happens, right? So there's not really... Is it really just because like some guys don't really... I mean, actually, no. Like what Red's doing is fine. But I'm just saying, like, just from like a forward position, I don't really see it happen too much where like guys are going out of their way to try to like cut in and out some way. Like I don't see that cut happening. I'm going here then out. I mean, obviously he had two options, right? But it's like, is it not something that's well known? Because like I was taught that cut by another esports guy. I just don't know how like universal those cuts are. To me, it feels second nature, but like it just seems like when I'm looking at other guys playing winger, they don't make that cut unless I tell them to make that cut. But then they don't actually do it how I want them to. It's probably hidden attribute. Yeah, there probably is when it comes to ice toe. I would definitely agree. Or it's just like simple puck luck, or like I don't know if you would call it like if it's like yeah, like yeah, actually I don't know. First of all, the penalty that I just made there was horrible. So this was like again the first game on, the first rush. This is why I hate breaking it down because I know exactly that that's on me for an outside entry and the penalty. As soon as I saw it, I knew it, right? So I knew he was gonna cut. I don't know. I just don't understand why the cut is made that way. Like that is an out cut. To me, it feels very ineffective. Like if I just wasn't a dumbass in this case, that's a very easily preventable entry. Like if I'm already there, like it's a very easy, and like if I read it, I mean I can easily put myself in a better spot. I was there. If I didn't poke check, and if I was more so to the right and I followed him on that cut a little bit better, would have been fine. I just don't like that's not really an effective out cut, but like it, you know, it's not how I would have done it. Luck and technology is just a glitch favoring. That is true. Because it is like weird, right? When it comes to like puck bounces that naturally go to like the other team. When like you're playing good defense and they still get it. Or like you're on a guy one-on-one and you're poke checking for days and then he still somehow gets it. I don't know, it's weird. Even something like that, like I don't even know. Look at what Teal's poke check did. He presses poke check, and look at what his guy does. I'm gonna poke check behind instead of out in front towards the puck. What causes that poke check to happen? So you're Teal in this case. You're gonna poke check, right? Nah. What the game registers is you wanted to poke check towards the net for some reason. Nah, I don't want to poke check the puck. Why the fuck would I want to do that, right? So it completely screws his attempt at poke checking. Of course, so then people are going to be like, oh, well, you should have held your stick out and aimed the poke check, and then that would have been better. It's like, yeah, but sometimes you're not going to do that. Sometimes you just want to jab the poke check out. Because it's better than trying to aim it and, like, miss it. Yeah, so that's a good rotation back. At that point, it should have been a full rotation back. If there's more chemistry here, we would have... Okay, never mind. Damn. If I'm talking safe, right? Safe route. These guys are already technically back. But that's actually a good break-in, to be honest. If we are going to go back in, the way we coordinated that was actually nice. Of course, then I just just fucking completely sent the pass way out of Green's reach, but... Still fine though. Good pass there. Not for red. Not sure if he tried to drop past it. The only okay. I just have to see from like a okay. I think yeah, just I don't know. Somehow somebody's pass is like they're a decent pass. We're moving the puck up, but like somehow it doesn't get to us. I don't know if that's like we just have to have more patience, but you can't, right? Like the guy could have literally hit Green if he went towards him a straight line. It's not a bad pass. It just somehow doesn't lead us in some way, right? Because like the pass is made as if I was standing still here, you know, and it's not going towards me. It's not leading the pass towards where I'm going. I don't know if it's like, oh, it would have been better to hit red there, but you're not going to always be able to Like I feel like he maybe was trying to hit red, and because it's like a quick pass, sometimes it goes to the furthest guy instead of the closest guy, which you're actually trying to hit. That's like the only. It's weird. It's a weird mechanic because I feel like the game doesn't register it properly. Like it's reading, like the pass assist is kicking in, but it's kicking in as if you were holding the pass button down trying to hit the furthest guy. But it's like a quick pass. I just don't get it. Like as soon as you get it, you're passing it. So obviously you're not holding the freaking trigger down. Now I'm on the left side of the ice here. Trap wise, I feel like we did a decent job. I actually don't know what. Yeah, like is this his attempt at cutting in and then back out? Cut in, and then it's like he tried to go here, like he was trying to cut in and then out. Like he was trying to get me to go inside, then he opens up outside. It's not even like a strong cut. Like to me, that feels easily readable. I'm only like hyper focused on it because it's a position that I don't normally play. So like I'm trying to see from a winger position what the reads of a winger are, right? In terms of what they're seeing, you know, from an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint. So there's a lot of times I feel like there's a lot of these outside entries when I'm playing defenseman or center, and I'm just like, how are they entering on the outside so often? Well, if I miss like that, it makes sense. But like, I'm still engaged there. Like, even if they don't get it, like, even if the guy still got in, he still went into me. Like, I'm still following the play. If I don't take a penalty, like on that first rush, right? Like, it's still like, it should not be as hard as it is. I feel like. Like maybe I just gotta play winger more to like experience it more. But it's like everybody plays it differently. And I don't understand sometimes why it's so difficult. So now we're rotated back. Yeah, it's an easy up. Like just take the lane, right? Like they're not even on me, right? So it's an easy entry to the outside if I'm full speed, right? Get back to the point. Shot deflected. Work it back there. Nice shot. The only thing that I would have to get like really good at is just like offensive zone rotation, better puck control, right? In terms of like when to move it, when to hold on to it, where to move it and stuff like that. But in terms of like cutting into the zone, I feel like I'm like, I don't know, quite high level at doing it. Not trying to like sound arrogant in any way. Maybe it's because like that's what I'm trying to read from like forwards. Like as a defenseman, I'm trying to read that. Dude, that's a good entry, right? From centerman position, he was able to get that. But it's like it feels so much tougher to do it as a centerman, though. I'm not gonna lie to you, because like he's fighting these guys. Like he's got 3 potential guys to hit him. He has to like be really strong on the puck. Like that is kind of tough, to be honest. See, I'm supporting there because Red's no longer there, right? So I'm reading where he's at. Now I'm going to go and try and support down low. Like, he had an open lane if I wasn't even going there, right? Good pass there. And then I do that bullshit. See, that's where I just have to... Patience? Like, why am I doing an LT pivot there? Like, why? Like, actually, why? I'm like, oh, it's a perfect time to do it. Let's do it. But no, we got green here, wide open to the left. If I held up a little bit, I could have potentially found him, potentially drop past it maybe. Even maybe taking the lane and just taking a shot if it's there, right? instead of doing an LT pivot into the guy and then trying to spin and then take a shot and then goes right into the guy and shot's nowhere near. Like, it doesn't really make much sense. But I mean, 5 shots to 4. They had 2 power plays. We had 3 minutes time on attack against an NHL level team. First game on. With guys that, you know, it's not like we're an established Sixes team. I don't even think what's going on is crazy. I mean, what is their trap actually? Because this is what I'm talking about, right? When you look at other teams, the other teams that we played, the other sessions that are broken down, the key thing is actually how bad the trap is that I'm seeing from other teams. I don't even know what you call this that they were doing. No, actually, wait. Okay, so the winger forechecked. So that makes it, you know, tough for him to sort of do much of anything. I mean, yeah, as soon as they forecheck, they're already out of position. They can't trap, right? Okay, so that clears it up there. But the problem is not necessarily the fact that it's so wide open. It's the fact that what I'm seeing, right, as like if I'm playing defenseman, is that we don't have guys going in with speed to the outside. Like, we had that one game where we lost whatever it was, 7-0, but it should not have been that difficult to enter the zone as it was, right? Because the outside was so free in a lot of these rushes. We just didn't have forwards occupying that. What a pass. That's tape to tape. One timer. And then, of course, it's post to post. He just gloves it like nothing happened. Like, there's no way they can enter the zone, right? Like, the read that's being made, he's on him. He's doing exactly what I'm doing, actually. Right? We're facing the other. I don't understand why this isn't done more either. Where, like, we'll have wingers trying to play the lane. Like, they're facing the puck carrier. I guess it depends, right? You could play for the interception. I just don't understand, like, if you're going to play for the interception, then what are you trying to create after? You're trying to create some kind of rush after you get it. But unless you have that, there's no point in playing for the interception. It just makes more sense to take away the lane. So when you take away the lane, when you play the man straight out, like, I'm going to play this exactly as I would play one-on-one defense at any moment of the you know, in any given area of the ice, right? So I'm going to play to the guys inside. I'm going to match his stride. If he cuts one way, I'm going to follow him. If he tries to cut the other way, and I can anticipate that, and I can play him all the way to the blue line, right? So I'm just closing the lane. If he had made that pass there, I was right there engaged. If it's a pass made there, Green's right there engaged. Red is sort of in the play there. We've got now teal and yellow over the top of us. So just in case, right? You got one of these guys that maybe can get by us. It's not totally like we're blown out of coverage and now we have no support. Like, we're playing man-to-man, trap-wise. And then these guys are our support guys, right? And so then if whether it's a loose puck or something, or maybe we just somehow can't stay with them, they can help support and play defense on that. That's a great play there from Green. Read that. Holy shit. Where he actually went back to the inside of the center. I feel like you could do, you're more engaged that way too, because like you could play 2 guys at the same time that way. Like, if you read, right, you can, if you play the position enough, you do the same type of coverage enough, you can anticipate where guys are gonna most likely make a pass. This guy's ahead of this guy, so Green's seeing that, he's like, well, this guy's not really an option anymore. This guy is, so I'm gonna anchor myself to him, support red and support teal at the same time. Teal's actually supporting all of the guys. We had 2 support guys on the one play, on the one man. Teal then just gets the puck. Green takes him, and Teal gets the puck. I mean, you can't really chalk up trap defense any better than that. I don't even think that that's a hard read, though. Like, how is it so difficult to play it? Although, okay, so I was reading the center that cut initially, then this way. So I was trying to help support on that. Very similar to how Green did, right? But this guy then gets the puck. It's not like he technically beat me in any way because I'm still over the top. I then go and push him. It's just he was able to make a pass to somebody else. In my opinion, I feel like it's almost anticipating, I guess, Red to take the inside of me to take away that lane. I don't know. It just didn't happen. It's still fine, though. They didn't really get a high percentage look by any means. So, yep. It's just free to Green on the left. Backdoor feed. Almost had it there. Work it down low, maybe. Okay, I do... I mean, how are these passes missing, though? Like, how many times have I made a pass down low for it to somehow miss him? I mean, it's not on them, right? It's really the game just screwing the fuck over them. For no reason. Ah, it's crazy. Tough angle shot. I mean, you're telling me that the goalie's not there? In my opinion, he is, but some people may even say, oh, no, he should have been further out more this way, and then that would have helped his shoulder to cover that. It's like, come on now. It's literally because of quick release. That's the reason why I went in. Like, ban these traits. Actually, get the whole traits out of the game, actually. I've been saying this ever since, like, 22. Traits should be gone. Actually, that's super cap. I feel like I've been saying it probably since 24. I was able to tolerate it for 2 years. Yeah. I mean, explain what the fuck the trap that was. The reason this is so easy for me is literally because of how bad these guys are actually playing the trap. I'm not trying to call them out straight out, but that is a horrible ass fucking trap. I don't know what some of these guys are doing. Like, this is the wingers that I have on my fucking side. I'm not saying on Hackpack. I'm saying just in general. From other teams that I played with. It is insane how fucking bad these guys are sometimes. What is he reading? He's like, oh, I'm going to play outside, right? I mean, I guess he could technically. That is one way of playing a trap. But then that would require this defenseman to play more engaged to the inside then. He's playing off. If I'm a winger, I'm reading that. I'm going to play more inside to that winger. Just cut off that lane. That's an easy entry. Although I can't do anything much of it, right? Because of, yeah, the defenseman just anchors himself there. Well, to be honest, see here, go outside. Yeah, it should have been an outside cut. No, that's just horrible on horrible positioning from that guy. I go here. If I went outside, buys enough time. If I'm just any bit better of a winger, this rush is just extended in the offensive zone, straight out. I don't even think he's playing the game. He's actually not playing the game. Like, what is he doing? Still though, that's like still the level of winger caliber that I've seen from previous teams. Well, he goes back the other way for, oh my god. So what the hell happened, right? Because we were in a decent spot. Just an LT pivot. Yeah, that's the one thing that makes playing what has made playing defense so much tougher this year is literally that. Because you think you have them. And you don't want to play too far off, right? Because then it's like, oh, well, you're just going to give them space. But I do think that is tough. I mean, it's actually... It's a bad poke check because of how he did it. I'm not trying to necessarily nitpick everything, but from a, from a poke check standpoint, I mean, I do it too as well, if I'm being honest. It's a bad poke check, but it's like because you have that mindset, you have that mentality like, oh, I have to try to make a play here. It makes sense to make a play here. But like, you don't have to. Literally what Teal could have done is not even make any type of pursuit. What he needs to understand is that get to a position where that forces this play, and then read that play and match him off the turn. If he can match him off the turn, what he'll do is he'll like fake like he's going, get him the LT pivot, then reestablish inside, and then this guy will run into him. He doesn't even have to press a button, or like he doesn't have to poke check or do any action towards the guy. What he could do is let his skates right there do the work, because once he does an LT pivot, he pulls the puck back. As he goes back the other way, or as he goes back forward, he's going to place the puck back more in front of him. Therefore, if Teal is playing right up inside of him, he's got his skates did the work and literally just knocked the puck away. That's like, I would say, more high level defense that's like required. It's a higher defensive play that doesn't require any action. It's literally just your defensive positioning doing the work. What is the best build for score and nice movement? Well, if you're trying to score, I would say the sniper build is probably the best go, to be honest. But you could use pretty much any build to technically score. In terms of movement, kind of the same thing. I like using sniper. That's what I'm using here. I'm using a 5'10", 160-pound sniper. I mean, I think the way we're moving it is fine, man. It's just like, get it? Like, it's like a little, it's the little things, right? Like, so we get this puck 3-on-1, like make something happen, right? We move it to red, back to me. Yeah, it's just kind of tough. I do think red should have pulled up because I'm not sure actually. Some people would say like 3-on-1 or 3-on-2, you have the centerman drive, but we don't have time for him to drive. Like if he continued, then green pulled up, like red goes down here, green pulls up here, then I'm somewhere around here. Read option. We don't have that time for it to be set up. It's got to be like a quick kind of play. I would have almost rather this pass have gone to green because he has more ice to the left. It kind of can consolidate us more to the inside. And then the defenseman and the back checker actually is the one that got me. It's just tough in terms of spacing. This is what really happened. And see, there's the cut again. Like, I'm reading this like he's so far inside of me. I'm faking the cut in to draw him this way to then cut back out and open up this lane. Now, if a defenseman, he actually could have taken it. Like, this is one of those call outs that could have been made as well, where yellow can go like blue cut in, I'm going to take it wide. Or another call out, like a shortcut, call out that I remember when I was with this other team. Well, what we would call is a fake cut. We would call it fake cut. So we would send blue to cut in, and it's a fake, right? We're not going to make that pass. Yellow can just take it wide. That opens up the spacing out here. Watch as it does open up. If he had LT pivoted to work it back out. Now, if there was the call out, I wouldn't have cut back out, right? Because he would have specifically told me to cut in, right? So I would have held the cut inside. This guy then tries to go and push him. LT pivot, he would have gotten around him. It's an outside entry. But what we did here as well, if there was a little bit more patience, he can make a pass over to me. I think he tried to get it to me. He would just have to try to delay on the on his movement a little bit to try to create some distance between him and the guy that pushed him to open up that pass option. This is where it becomes a little bit tough. Yeah, I think what the issue sometimes is that the difference, the only thing that I'm going to call out here, the difference between what I'm doing versus these other guys is that I'm full skating, like full stride skating. Watch the difference in my skating style versus these other guys. You see how my guy's like pumping his arms? I'm like skating. I'm getting the top speed. I'm creating distance as well from where I was in like relation to Red. Because me and Red were even. I'm even with Red. As I skate, I create distance. Now, Red doesn't have a lot of options in terms of skating full speed, if we're being honest. But in terms of winger position, it should always be full speed. Or, you know, a center could be... I don't know. I have to figure out centermen a little bit better in terms of what they should be doing. The centerman could be gliding a little bit and making a cut. Just depends on how tight they're playing to him. But there's like, as this trap is being developed, there's just a lot of space that we're seeing on the outside. So we have the full lane to like get up to speed. And that helps us on cuts. The only thing that I can say is that, I mean, again, I don't really understand what these guys are doing trap-wise when I'm looking at the wingers. I say that probably the most out of every single trap that I see is like I look at how the wingers are playing and then I'm like, what is going on? Most of the time, I feel like when I'm kind of like critiquing a trap, mainly the critiques come from the winger position because they just don't know what outside leverage coverage it really is. But what I will say is I do believe that if Green was going here, he kind of cuts in and maybe back out. I don't know. It just kind of depends on where. I actually don't know. That was just a weird ass trap, if I'm being honest, where like he went in and then he was going to go and fake like he's going to hit him. Unless Green reads it in a way where like he goes here, then cuts to his inside. Like this guy goes this way. He cuts from the inside here, opens up a lane this way. And it's sort of like if you're a defenseman, you go here, pull it, make a pass as that cut's being made. Then maybe there's space to the left. But from like from a center position, it's like going here like this. Like it's there's not a distinct cut to finding a lane. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if really he has the option to do that. But I'm thinking like if he can just kind of go and get by this guy somehow, make a cut slightly to the left or right, there's just no speed that he has. Like if he was already maybe a little bit up here and this pass is made and then like he finds a cut left as that pass, maybe, I don't know. That's where the center position is like a little bit tougher because the center usually is more lined up from the to the opposing center. It makes it tougher for him to sort of get up to full speed and make a cut. That's just kind of how I'm seeing it. And then they get that goal. So they had two goals right now where they shot it from this angle and then he does the pass from this angle and it goes in both times. That's just how we're scoring an extra 26. I don't think you can call that high level, but it's just like he just is making the pass there and a shot there. This is again where there's not really a winning option here. Unless you're just so highly advanced in seeing the options, right? And he takes a booming slap shot around here from me. Like, that's not going to happen. I'm just totally saying. But if he somehow did, right? I don't know really what Teal had in terms of that. But just what the biggest problem that I have when it comes to trying to get the puck in on this sort of half rotation. It's not even a rotation. He literally just goes from here, point blank, to, or like a standstill to skating up. I'm going back as if we are going to rotate all the way back. And then Teal's already up. You know what I mean? So I'm like not in line right side, but he would have to make a pass to Red to then maybe make a pass to me in stride. Or maybe Red takes it in. No, the winger was on him, so I don't know. It's one of those things that just doesn't work out in our favor. And then it's such a green light for them to go back the other way with speed. Like every single time. See, I like that entry right? That attempt of the entry, right? So what he's reading is he's, again, trying to bait guys just enough to maybe cut inside a bit. If that happens and this pass can somehow stay onside, we have an entry to the left. If he makes the pass early, it screws us over, because what will happen is this pass will be made here. These guys will then bull rush me. And then this guy will have green, whatever. It's an easy hit. Like he's playing back to then attempt to go for the body check. And he will get it because I'm at low stamina. But this is one of those, I would say, more high level defensive like entries where he's reading the spacing that we have in relation to the opposition. He's trying to draw guys to him to make a pass. I go offside. But like, if we were onside there, that is almost guaranteed in. But if he made a pass a little bit sooner, it's almost guaranteed not going in. Like, that's really good. Yeah, I mean, it's just as free of an entry as you can have. Now we just got to make something happen. I just can't make something happen. How many of these passes does that happen? Actually, where like we're making the pass and it just goes off our skates. Why are these passes off? It's a good it's a good pass. I don't understand it. Like that's the luck we had all night. We still have 0 goals here. Like, how? Like, we lost 5-0 to a team. We still have yet to score. And like, I feel like we played decent offense. Like that. Okay, so like how I'm feeling was actually what was actually going on. I felt like we played a decent game, but we're just not getting the results. I mean, it's still like we could be better in many of these areas. If you really break down every single detail, that's kind of the story of the game. It's just weird, you know? I mean, I love the ability to just grind to the net, though. Like, we're just grinding for the puck. Like, when we do get it, we're getting it in like not very good prime scoring areas, but like we are getting it sometimes, you know? I like the defense there. Back to the point. Nice defensive coverage there. Yeah, see, that's the problem with that. So even from like a winger standpoint, we don't want to get caught up sometimes in somebody's pushes. That makes it so much difficult for the defensemen, right? Because they got a whole coverage there. I don't really know where Red was going. If Red was here, he would have been into my inside. If he was more strong man to my inside, he would have been able to easily push there. Teal was fine. Yellow was fine. We were fine. You can still say I shouldn't get beat there, but I'm like more like wingers have the free will to kind of go for somebody's hits. If we're sort of good on the inside, we should have been. We just weren't a little bit there, you know. I can't lose it there. I got to move it back to the point. Find Red or something. Like, that's one of some of the frustrating parts, right? Because like you're playing a good game other than the fact that when it gets to the offensive zone, we're not finalizing the looks. They're not getting finalized, you know. We're not able to set up the finishing play. Like, you could play a great game everywhere else, but if you don't get the final look of a rush offensively or through a cycle, you're just simply not going to score goals. You're not going to win games. you know, regardless of how the game looked. 2 goals, we could have potentially been, you know, 2, 3, who knows, right? Depending on some of the looks if we had better finishing touches. And you look at the stats, and that's what kind of supports that idea, because time on attack is up, shots are basically even, they have 2 power plays, right? And it's still that tight, but it's a 2-0 game in favor of them. And it literally just comes down to us not scoring versus them scoring. Because then you get into these areas where now you have to break away from the damn what a pass. I don't know how you get that pass though. Like, that's tape to tape, right? It didn't even, I don't even know. It didn't even like show up. But yeah, like, you get into these areas where now you have to start forcing things because you're not scoring. You're down in the game, and you played a decent game up to this point, but now you have to break away from that to sort of force something. And then now the score can either, you know, finally go your way a little bit, or it just continues to get further out of reach. Minute 20 in the power play. I mean, we're still very much in the game, right? If we score 1, like, this is a big ass power play if you think about it. That's tough. I mean, that's just good man marking. We each want to be able to see them cherry picking. Kind of delaying us a little bit there. Yeah, it's a little bit tough. Yeah, I'm trying to force that. We're decent numbers back though. All right, it is some of these plays, right? That is another time where Teal tries to poke check on a pass where he just all he had to do was sort of just be there, right? And he would have been fine. I'm trying to force a poke check for no reason. See, this is again another, okay. We're just seeing the space. Like, what I'm looking at is not only the space that I have on this guy. Where's the defenseman? Where's the center? The lane is here. I'm gonna take that. Like, it's not hard to read, right? Now go back out. Why am I cutting inside? Stop cutting inside. I mean, actually, it's not bad of a play. I just can't get to the point where I go inside and like force something to nobody. Like, I'm not only closing the distance, I'm then trying to force a short pass to them for no reason. Like, I gotta go here, control it, and almost like stop here. And then wait for the play to develop to then maybe make a pass or something, right? Like, do something other than what I just fucking did. Like, it's good everywhere else up to those finishing looks. Offensively, we can't score because of that. But if that's the only issue, though, like, to me, that's not really a hard thing to fix. Like, it is in some way, because it is all developed on, you know, your puck level skills, right? Your puck control skills, and then the reads that you're making offensively in terms of what offensive move you should be doing. But that comes with simply repetition. Like, from a you know, mechanical standpoint, or like from an IQ standpoint in terms of what we're reading, is fine there. Like, even that, like, there's wingers that don't support on that. There's wingers that will be like back here for no reason. Like, just see where your teammates are sometimes. What I'm reading is that we had yellow go and try and push there with a guy driving down low, which actually, but being honest, I mean, maybe he's reading me going here, so he's like, well, I could play high. But I don't really think that that's the case. Like, that is a centerman play that should be read. But I'm like basically covering for him. It's still within my reason, you know, within my, yeah, like, you know, within my power to do that. this is where I get a little bit tougher because I don't. We're here. I'm kind of driving. There's no option for me to be open. I'm trying to be high. Yeah, I don't really know where I should be. This is where the reads sort of stop for me, right? Because it's like, you know, I'm trying to just be open, like keep the triangle. You got somebody get down low, somebody on the board. She forces it here. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go out this way. But it's almost like I go here, like read what's there, go here, and then like see what opens up. If there's any seam that opens up, I got to fill that, and maybe a cut play works there. And there was space, right? Like I'm going too far out wide. Like again, now this is more like small ass fucking details that we're looking at. No reason really, but it's just from, I'm looking at it because this is the area of my game that is actually the weakest. It's here, you know, he's controlling it. If I park up somewhere here, like, and just slightly pick that lane, now I could be somewhere maybe here, and that pass is made. I have more of an ability to get it. Like, I picked the lane late. Like, that's the timing of an offensive play. I picked it late. That pass was made, and I was not in the best spot for me to drive to the net. But that's a good read. Read the space. I got no option here. There's no point making a pass back to the point. Just go around that. Green is there, right? He's going to be. He's able to get that puck, and now we have an offensive zone cycle in play. That's a good play. I like that. Taking it right to the net, throwing it. Like, it's good reads that we're making. Like, that could have went in. Just as much as the play that they had where they just force it to the net that goes in. One timer. Like, hit the net. Good play, if you think about it, right? So now I'm just parking up here. Space is open there. Space is open there. Still there. Still there. Still. Take a shot. Like, as wide open as it possibly could have been. That would have went in. If I just didn't miss it by however many feet there. And I actually don't understand why I'm missing that, actually, as a sniper. With rocket on. I think here, maybe he's just kind of, it's better to control it, to be honest. I don't know if, maybe he could have moved it up. I don't know, maybe he was just thinking it was either going to get poke checked or something. But like, if we're able to get it past this first layer, whether it's somewhere here, or there, right? Just somehow, some way getting it to us, we can keep the rush going with relative speed. Now we stop because he had to pull it. That is kind of what stops the transition plays and where the forecheck kind of comes in and dominates a little bit, because then they forecheck and then pull away. So now they're almost playing somewhat of a trap. Although I don't really know what they're doing at that point. But even still, like, if we think about it, like, if Green controlled it a little bit more, maybe found me, or maybe space opens up more for Red instead of passing it right away. If he controlled it for maybe a little bit of a half second, yeah, what the read was to find me, and maybe I could do something one-on-one, because they all drew over to that left side. If it wasn't such as quick of a pass, like, that's a small detail of just a little bit more puck control, a little bit more control in that play instead of forcing it. Like, that's how crazy the offensive sort of look of a play really comes down to when you break it down. Is just how much space do you have? Should you move it quick? Should you hold on to it? How long should you move? Hold on to it for? It's those kind of details that sort of defines a team's offensive production. Now Tiev's got it. Yeah, it's just where the forecheck works. But if he's able to get by that, man, he's able to somehow get by it. Like, it's so free to this right side again. So free to the left, if you think about it. But, like, he's anchored to the right. So it's, like, so free right. That's the only frustrating part. I mean, it's not an easy thing, right? Because like you're like looking, you're reading what is opening up. You're trying to read what's coming at you. And sometimes you think you timed the play right, or you have a certain angle for a pass, and you're about to make a pass, and all of a sudden you get pushed. You just get beat there somehow. They're just right off the draw. And this is where I guess they start to dominate a little bit. Or not really dominate, but like just sort of get the upper hand a bit in terms of some of these rushes. Here I've got to be better, man. Here I've got to be better. It's like I don't know. Like I don't know, LT to the inside there really just doesn't make sense. Like I go inside, but in all honesty, to the right side is fucking way better. Which one are you here? How did I do? What, are you on this other team here and I'm not seeing it? Yeah, this is just one-on-one plays. I don't know. You played me with optional? Which game was that? If you want to, yeah, it's just kind of quick transitions right now. We have to push, so I don't know. Kind of just the way it goes there. Bro, I messaged you. Where did you message me? On TikTok? Cause I don't fucking read that shit, to be honest. Like I only read some messages here and there, but it was 11-2. What team were you? I don't even remember the games, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe you take a little bit more pride into that shit than me, but like threes, I don't really play that much, so. It's kind of just the only problem with me. Was it that Legends team? Or was it another team? Yeah? Okay. Oh yeah, you guys played a good game. I mean, scores, you know, the way it was for a reason. I think the guys wanted to play you guys again, though. I mean, I'd be down for another game. You know. The only question I got is let's see, wait, if I remember the names, I actually did recognize some of your guys' names. I think at least one of your guys' names. Are you guys only a threes team, or do you guys also play sixes? I thought I've seen your guys' names before, but I don't know. Like the problem that I have is like I don't have like a really good like knowledge. Like I don't recognize names. I don't put names to people. You know, like it's harder for me to kind of remember somebody's name as opposed to like remembering a face. So like I'll see a name and I'd be like, I've seen that before, bro, but I don't fucking recognize it. You know what I mean? I fucking hate that feeling every time. Because I'm not really a guy that's like super like into the community where I'm like constantly in like Discords and stuff, texting people and playing with them. I'm kind of just on the game, and if I see a name, it's like, oh cool, I played them. But that's just kind of my thing. But it's like I don't play threes as much as I do sixes, I guess, right? So, and now like I would be able to recognize a sixes player. That's kind of why I was thinking you guys are sixes players, but I don't think you guys are, or maybe you are. Okay, so what I actually did want to do as well if I'm being honest. Let's see here. At least for a little bit, I guess. I wanted to kind of break down. I do have the Caps Gaming finals, which I wanted to look at. So if anybody is watching this later, you guys will get a little bit more. Where the hell do I have it though? I think it's here. Is this it? Yeah, it is, bro. So I don't know if I'm gonna get a copyright strike. Hopefully not. If I do, I do. Right? It's a live stream, whatever it is. I'll take it down. This is now the first time that I'm actually looking at this. This is Caps Gaming Esports Tournament Finals, right? Between Empire and Icebreakers. As you see the names here, I pretty much recognize almost all the names, besides maybe one or two. I'm not sure. But I have seen these guys. These guys are top dog, top-notch players. When you look at esports, this is the bar that is being set, and this is the bar that you want to reach. So what you really want to take a look at is, first of all, this guy here. When it comes to the defensive position, in terms of what he does, I think this guy is just based on what he was doing. I think to me, he's reached a level where he is either giving he's either tied for he's literally top 2 in my opinion, top 2 defenseman, or possibly number 1. Like, he gives Dumoulin a run for his money now, I feel like, in my opinion. If I'm going to take a look at right deep positions, I've always give Dumoulin, you know, I've always considered him a top dog defenseman, the best in the game. But based on what I was seeing from Selly, bro, that guy, in my opinion, I have played against Selly Center quite a few times in previous years. In my opinion, he's improved so much in the fucking game. He gives Dumoulin a run for his money now. Just from what I've seen. If I'm gonna give anybody props, I'll give him his. And I don't even know the guy from a personal level. All right, so the main thing to look at here is, first of all, how these guys transition, how quick they transition, and sort of how they position themselves, right? Those are the three main things, I guess you could say. Rotations, transitions, like how quick they're going north, the rotation factor, how well they rotate with one another, and just how well they're able to sort of execute some of these formations that they have. So this is, again, a controlled reset, controlled full reset play, where now they're doing a full control. You know, this is a trap defense that the other team is obviously showcasing here, you know, and we have our controlled breakout or break in. So yeah, just in terms of, yeah, so here it just seems like these guys are maybe this is a call for the defenseman's gonna skate it. I don't know how much. The question that I would love to have answered, the only question that I actually would love to have answered, is in terms of call outs that these guys have, how much and how often are these guys talking in terms of break-ins? How often does that happen? Because when it comes to a team like this, like, there's so much chemistry on the ice. I wonder how often, or is it like sort of maybe 50-50 just based on what they see? Like, hey, I'm gonna skate it, or sometimes they just want to see the play unfold and they'll make a read there. It just seems like some of these plays are call outs, like almost all of these controlled break-ins, full resets, whatever, are call out plays. Like, there's not a call out by any I mean, there's not a cut by any of these players. This player doesn't cut in. They just stay wide. Red cuts left, and then yellow tries to take it, and then make a pass. So that tells me that he told red to cut left, and I'm gonna skate it. Or maybe he just said I'm gonna skate it up, so red just knows to cut out of his way. I don't know. We'll have to see, kind of like, see if you can sort of spot the call outs that are being made, if there is any. That's kind of the one main thing when it comes to these break-ins. So they do a full reset again. Reset. I guess there it was a dump and chase. So I guess he's saying, I don't know what the call out there is made. If he's just saying dump right, or maybe a sauce. I don't know. Couldn't tell you that one. But look at the defense here. So this is what I was talking about before, how the wingers are playing more tight coverage this way. Like they're not trying to play the point. They're willing to give up the point so that they can help support down low. So he's trying to play and keep Selly to the outside. That's kind of what Green is doing. That's kind of his way of playing it. But look at the creativity, though, that Selly has with the puck. Control, 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 finding a cut for a shot. He did all that for just a shot, for a cut play. It wasn't even really a cut. It was just kind of a centering pass that ended up in this guy turning and shooting, which was a save. Didn't seem like a tough save to make, but it was still a save nonetheless that was needed. And yeah, the way I started this was already in overtime. I couldn't, but by the time I got to it, they were already underway in game one. It was the best of 7 series in the finals of the main division esports for 10,000. I think it was like, I don't know how much the second place got or something, but they each got their own cut, I think. So I think that that's a cut in for blue. It has to be. He's saying blue cut in. Because he's reading the pass on the cut. Like, look at the pass. Look at when this cut is made and when that pass is made. He goes here, cuts almost late. And then as soon as that cut is made, that pass is sent to him. Like, that's a design cut. You can't tell me otherwise. Goes in perfectly. Poke check. So to me, like, what I'm seeing is it's not so much based on the amount of speed that you have, but based on the effectiveness of that cut. So they are kind of skating full speed here. Because you could tell by their stride, right? They're like skating full stride through the, through a straight line. And yeah, and it just the reason it's so effective is based on that cut angle. Good defensive play there. One-on-one coverage, supporting. Green supports. They work it back down low. See, that's a pass you don't ever see made. I'm just gonna tell you straight out. This pass back is almost never made, but it is the most effective pass that could ever be made, based on the spacing. If he tries to skate up, what does he have? Absolutely nothing. If he tries to pass it to the middle, what does he have? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing there. I'm gonna pass it back, create some space. Like, it's a pass up to then pass back to then. There's so much now. Now there's so much space for a reset, and now the other team's playing back. Just based on those simple 2 passes to relieve pressure, what Green did was the best thing that could have possibly been done. So he doesn't turn it over. Like, that's not something you see. But this actually, I don't really know what Yellow's doing in this case, to be honest. I just don't. I think is he saying I'm gonna skate it in again? Like, I don't think. Now let's see what Tio does here. I think there's got to be a cut that's made, or maybe not. See, I don't know. I don't know, man. Some of these plays feel like they're design callouts, and then other times I just feel like he's just gonna go up and then see what's open. I just couldn't tell you. And this is like esports. I just couldn't tell you what is on the mind of this guy. Like, are wingers drawn to the possibility that defensemen are going to skate it and that they feel like they have to pressure that? Is that the read that they're making? Again, this is coming from someone who doesn't play winger that much, that plays winger the least. when I'm looking at these plays, everybody else makes sense in terms of what they're doing. But like the wingers, I always question. I just don't understand what's going through their heads sometimes. And I don't know if it's like something that they have defined in their mind or not. But like, what is Zach doing here? Like, what is he doing? If he is literally man-marked onto Green, this pass is cut off 100%. Or just in a lane to cover that. Like, he could either be inside leverage, you know, playing to his inside, skating with him, or literally playing the lane so that the pass could be intercepted or something, right? But like, he's nowhere near Green at all. The freest entry you could have. And then Green makes a great pass again. Wow. That could have ended it. Like, that could have ended it, and it's literally because of the failure to contain the outside on a trap. Like, somebody has to explain that to me. I don't understand the defensive mentality of that. When I'm playing wing, I almost think nothing about what the defenseman's doing in terms of like why you would almost feel compelled to go and press him. Like, why? Because you just gave up that. Like, you gave up the most high percentage look you could possibly give up. That's not that's on zero of anybody else, right? I guess you could technically say who the hell was covering you know, the yellow at that time when he drove right to the fucking net. See, these are plays that are, yeah, this is a design type of I think he's just reading what's there. I to be honest, I really don't think yellow is calling out anything here. Like, I think what he's doing is he's just reading the space, and then he's gonna, again, do the same thing that we typically do here. He's skating, you know, as close to the blue line as he possibly could to attempt to draw even like one step to him. So then that pass to the outside could open up that much more. Like, that is one step to the inside that opens up a pass there, and it goes into the zone that way off the bounce. Versus if, let's say, he made it earlier, Vez would have been all over blue. There would have been nothing that he could have done. Back to the point. So they're willing to give up the space. Gonna pressure a little bit, but that's like perfect defense from the wingers. You can't really ask for anything better there from green and blue. They're giving up that type of shot. He's got quick release on, which is an interesting one. But it makes sense, right? Because the shot at the point is like a freaking muffin. If you have zero shooting straight on, every single shot is a damn muffin. Because you're not gonna up your shot as a PMD. You're just simply not. Now, what was his call out? So what I noticed is that this guy probably controls the breakout 90% of the time when they reset it. He's got like probably over 5-6 minutes of time with the puck every single game. Like, most defensemen, I feel like maybe get like you know, 2-3 minutes maybe. I'm kind of just spitballing, but I feel like that's typically what defensemen get when they, you know, when it comes to time, you know, time with the puck. But this guy clears that. Like, with, you know, he'll clear it more than like some forwards have it with the puck, which is fucking hilarious. This is a D-to-D pass cut to the middle. I don't know what call it is, but this is like I mean, we had a call like this before, where it was like hey, teal cut middle, red cut right or something, right? It was something like that. So you would send red away from the middle to attempt to draw red, you know, the other center, to him, and then that would open up this lane to the middle. Although yellow read it pretty decently. He was very involved on that rush. Now he's going to skid it again, find blue late. That's perfect. Entry into the zone. Almost had a backdoor feed. Control there. The wingers played it perfect. Now we're reset. Half rotation, I would call this. Now they all turn up the ice. See what happens. Find a cut there for red. I don't know if this is red cut left. Could be. Maybe he's just cutting to the open ice. Couldn't tell you. But it's an open ice play regardless. Now it's 21 shots to 11. Although the time on attack is in favor of Empire. Yep. The passes back don't happen that much for some reason. You look at anybody else's gameplay, forward wise, there's not too many of those passes that happen. Or like forwards are able to recognize that they don't have space, they don't have a rush, that they rotate it back. Like when the pass is initially made to them. Like yeah, if they get in the neutral zone or something, and you know they know they don't have a rush to work it back for a reset. But like those passes that are made up to them to then immediately given back to them, it doesn't happen that often. But it happens here. This is a good read. This still though, I don't really understand. Like I would never play like this, to be honest. Like he is involved there on the back pedal. I would just never play like that. I don't know why. From a winger, again, somebody who doesn't play winger, maybe that's just the reason why. I would never play the trap like that. I would always be looking the other way. I would never be playing for an interception. Because that's not what you're trying to stop, really. Like, what is he? I mean, he plays it perfectly. I'm not trying to... He obviously played it perfectly. I guess in that case there, he too. If that pass is made to him from that angle, you know, that would have been picked off. He would have been going the other way. So yeah, maybe in some cases, but... Just generally speaking, maybe I'm just not detailed enough to know that. Just a shot from a tough angle. That's kind of the defense that they're like. Those are kind of the shots that they're letting up. But that's it. You know, those are not high percentage. Although maybe it is. You know, I don't know. Just seems like anybody who has quick release on has a high percentage shot from anywhere. I mean, that is fantastic. I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything else, but what Green did there, the amount of times that he understands the pressure he has, and when a rush is simply not there and he rotates it back, because what it does is it keeps puck possession. Some people may say, oh, you're giving up a rush, but you're really not. When you know, like, when you're looking at the read on the ice of what the other team is doing, and you know that when you take this puck in, you're not going to have anything to do with it. And he knows how to rotate it back. Like, nobody else does that. Like, nobody fucking does that. That's the most high level you could possibly have. Now, like, what Zach did is perfect, right? He can then eventually timed the pass and went into him. I just don't understand some of these other plays where they just go for the body check. Just play the man, I feel like. It makes sense. Yeah, it's a super smart play. Like, understanding when to rotate back is like an IQ thing more than a skill thing. But this is just good man marking. The puck bounces still to them, and that's just the danger zone of intercepting a pass that's like backdoor like that. I mean, that could have went in off the goaltender, but you know, that's just the struggle point to playing defense. They played defense perfect up to that point. They still had to save a backdoor feed. It's fucking insane. But now it's second overtime. You know? Let's take a look here. I don't even think there's a call out here. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think what Yellow's doing is he's just simply reading the ice. I mean, like, I don't know. There's nothing I can really say from a super critical standpoint, from like a negative standpoint, because these guys are the guys that set the bar. Like, you know what I mean? So they do everything with a reason. I just, in terms of some things that I'm reading, maybe it makes more sense if it's more high, like, you know, when it's fast. And I'm not breaking it down frame by fucking frame to see, because nobody's gonna be perfect on the ice. You're not gonna see perfect hockey played by these guys, regardless of how top dog they are. Like, regardless, they're better than me, right? 'Cause I haven't played with a team that can get to this point. Although I do wonder if, let's say, I was playing center or defense or whatever, right? And I was on a team like this, how I would fit in. If I could fit in. You know what I mean? Because, again, you're talking about chemistry being established. These guys have played with each other. I wouldn't say they've been playing for years because guys go through guys left and right, I feel like now. And teams have been rotating in and out. I don't know what team currently has guys that they've had for years. Like, they've rotated guys to other teams, and guys have taken, you know, everybody's kind of almost like trading guys, you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of just, hey, take the, you know, based on who they want to play with. But like, Empire is not a team that's been playing for years. You know, they're just a newly established team. I mean, I've seen Selly play on quite a few different teams, right? Now he's on Empire, you know, and it just seems like, you know, he just fit in very perfect. Like, I've always looked at a guy like Selly, and I always thought he was honestly one of the best. I just never thought he was really playing with guys that sort of matched that skill. And now he kind of, now he, you know, you see the result when he actually is. You know what I mean? Like, he wins the tournament. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I always thought that in the back of my head. I'm like, if he was just on a better team, he would be a fucking, you know, star. I don't mean to dick ride him as much as I am right now, but that's really what is happening. I'm like just stating the facts. I feel like it's hard to get a team to play together in the same way. I mean, that is, yeah, that is the battle. Like, that is my life in this game since trying to put a team together since 24. It's NS for 26 now, and I've yet to find a team that can play. I'm not saying just play exactly the way that I want, right? But when you look at these guys, you sort of build a framework in terms of like, all right, these guys, this is how they're trapping. This is how they're breaking the puck in. This is how well they can rotate. This is what they're doing in the offensive zone, defensive zone. You can build a model in your head and try to explain that to other people. Sort of copy like what they're doing. These guys set the bar. If you want to be an esports team, you got to see what these guys are doing and sort of basically replicate what they're doing and be better at that, you know, be better than them. But the biggest problem ever since beginning this sort of you know, goal of mine of getting an esports team sort of at this level is finding the guys that are willing to do it. I mean, the amount of guys that I've gone through is double digits now, well over that actually, if you think about it. And I'm talking like really look at their game as much as I mean, I'm not saying you got to break down every single game as much as I do, right? Because like I do it in a way that's like sometimes OD sometimes, you know? I look at games, you know, when I have time. I'm not saying I like devote my entire career to just kind of looking at games and then trying to play, right? But I think there's a time and place where like if you're just looking at your gameplay just a little bit, you know, you can like spot a lot of things that you can improve on. It's no different than like if you do film review for like a spot that you're playing in IRL, you know, like you know, you coach will break down film, whatever, you look at yourself, you see what you need to do better and you correct it, and then you're, you know, and then you play better, you know. That's basically why would we treat a video game any differently? It's the same sport kind of concept. So that's kind of what I do. I don't know. And I look at these guys and I sort of be like, all right, what separates them from me? Well, for one, they have way more opportunities to be better because they play way more than me. They obviously play with better guys. They're playing they're playing against better guys. So like everything from a rep standpoint is just simply 10 times better than how I got it right now. But I'm willing to have, you know, to see how guys are and sort of build guys up to that point while also improving my game as well. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I had a team last year in 25 was probably the, you know, it was my debut in esports, but it was also kind of the best year to play esports because of just how it was set up. I feel like we had a decent team a couple times. We just never really got close, but it was a good starting point. But the problem is with starting points is that I feel like some guys want quick success. So what winds up happening is you sort of, you know, when you don't have that, guys are less inclined to continue the grind. If you don't win right away, guys are like, oh, well, this team sucks, I'm going to move on. Or it just, the clock kind of ran out on the time that they had. Because, you know, life goes on. We have shit that we're doing. Can't devote ourselves to just esports alone, right? So, in that regard, I feel like that's also what happened. But now I'm kind of trying to build it back up again. But, you know, the problem with trying to find guys that can play at this level now is that they already have teams established. Like, I'm trying to build again from the bottom up. Guys that are willing to do and see things my way, right? Well, also, you know, like we could always hash it out and talk it out and stuff like that. I'm not, like, opposed to doing that. But, the problem is when you start from the bottom up, you really got to go through the freaking grind to try to break down the simplistic details of sixes. Like, something that is so second nature to these guys, but is, you know, like a brand new concept to others. And that's kind of why I do film review, is kind of for that kind of standpoint. To get guys up to speed quicker, while also kind of reaffirming some of the things that I always thought about while I'm playing. That's kind of the reason why. Regardless, we got a 1-goal game right now. Now, some of these moments, I mean, here they're kind of fighting full pressure. They got nothing else that they can do. They literally cannot do anything else. If you move it up, wow. I mean, that's like super high level if you think about what they just did. They had enough patience to control the puck through the full pressure, to work it back around, to then find some kind of lane. Like, that could have been picked off, let's be honest. But how the hell did he go from... Wait, how the hell did he do that, actually? Oh, no, he shot it. Wait, did he shoot it or sauce it? Okay, never mind. He actually had enough time to make a pass. Okay. I was thinking he got it and, like, one touch sauced it. I'm like, no, he can't do that. Unless he shot it, but no. I think he actually did get it, held it for, like, a little bit, and then made a pass. I don't know. I'm not going to break this down too much longer. I'm kind of just, you know... But I wanted to take a look at this because I did eventually want to get to it. I just never had really much time to do it. And I was breaking down the other games. I might as well do it now here too. So I think what I do have recorded is everything up to that final game that they played. There's at least like 4 games here. 5 games here? No, 4 games. Because they only played 5. But we could always take a look at the other games on like a later stream, whatever. I'm not going to, you know, take a look at the whole thing now. But it is, you know, like if you are going to try to play esports, it only makes sense then to break down what these guys do versus what we were just doing in the scrims that we had. Just kind of like compare a little bit, see what we got to do better. Now we got a trap. He went D to D here. Yeah, it's just level of... It's like the level of freaking... I don't even know. It's just the like precise timing of the passes, the accuracy of the passes. So this is a D to D that he's going with. He went early with the D to D. There are some plays where if I'm controlling this puck and I call it D to D, it would be a late D to D. So I'll go into the neutral zone, then make a pass, and that's kind of more near the blue line before that pass is made. He goes early, so it gives it like flips the ice, gives you know, the opposite defenseman some options. He wants to choose to skate it or potentially find a pass or a pass. something, right? He goes into the zone and then immediately makes a pass to the boards. Bang, bang. Into the zone. Try to cut in. Just goes right into traffic. It's kind of all that was really present there to take. To hope for a puck bounce in some way. But that is a high-level break-in. So now let's see what they do again. And now you see Silly Center is the guy that's controlling the puck through the middle. Control. He sends... Like, what the fuck, dude? And they score from it. This is, like, more high level than I could ever look at. So, what call out is this? Because sometimes you've got the defenseman that hangs back when he makes a call out here. Or just simply doesn't go into the zone. And then now you got this one where it's like a late cut from the winger to get into the zone to then finding a pass to the outside. Goes in to pass back out. So that's twice now it went past Fisher on that. On that same side. For him to drive and then force a centering pass for a freaking goal. How? But like, what call out is that? I've never seen that. That's the first time I've ever seen that kind of play. What I've seen is it'll be, I have seen this play where it's like a defenseman will skate it wide and it's a cut in instead of him making the pass to him to then giving it to the defenseman. It's just a straight pass wide. So you're almost giving, you're trying to fake the winger out on this cut. You draw him inside, and then it just opens up a lane for the defenseman. I've never really seen guys do it. But this is, like, different. This is, like, that extra pass. So he actually does give it to the winger. To even draw more guys to him, to then finding the outside pass for the defenseman to take it. And then give it right back to him. I mean, that 100%, though, is a design play. You can't tell me otherwise. That's not fucking chemistry. That is 100% design call out. Now, that does take chemistry to understand that from everybody. But that is not like, oh, he's going to take it. He's going to take it and not say anything. And the winger's going to cut and he's going to make that pass. Fuck up. There's no way. Like, there's absolutely no way. Maybe that extra pass was a sort of, optimize, whatever it was, like maybe just, he read the play, made the pass, but like, what makes the defenseman go up there? Other than that, other than it being a design call out, because every other time he hangs back. Well, they try to jam it in front. They get it. Oh my gosh, man. This is the stuff that I hate. Because it's like, well, actually, I don't know what the defense is doing here. They got like everybody in the slot. Like, it's one thing to play condensed hockey, but for nobody to even pursue Teal here. Like, where did the center go? Okay, no, he was hung up there. Where did the winger go? Like, why isn't this winger on him? Like, the defenseman could take him, right? Because at that point, then you would almost expect Selly to then push. Like, what else is he covering? Nobody. And then it bounces to, it just bounces to him. Like, the one reason, like, when it gets to this area, this is like this is major danger area. Like, you're playing with fire if it gets to this point, because you're not going to get the puck. You're only hoping the goalie can grab it or something. But it's like nobody pushed the defenseman, so he could just walk through the middle of the slot. And the fact that he forced a pass and it still goes to them is even much more hilarious. Here, this is all, this is all improv to get into the zone. That's another improv play. Work it inside, outside. LT around side. He tried to hit the guy so that he picks up the puck and shoots it, right? Love that. I actually love that as a defenseman. think teams just need to simplify their game as well as having great position. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the trade-off, is that guys need to have great positioning. The problem is guys don't have great positioning, so they can't simplify their game as effective as they need to. But I will say that, like, what's the percentage that guys have great chemistry, or they just simply see the game the same as somebody else? Like, there's one thing of having like chemistry, and there's one thing that having like natural chemistry. Like, I could, if let's say if I were to switch spots with Selly, what would happen is, first off, any chemistry that was developed would be gone. Like, any like actual chemistry that would be cut because I entered the scene. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the game the game would play 100% differently if I'm somehow able to still play at a high level that somehow can match them in some way. Like, from a simple standpoint, if I understand where these guys are cutting, I could still make passes. I could still, you know, maybe make some plays here and there. But it's just, what is the percentage of chemistry versus just naturally seeing the game? If, let's say, let's see here, because this is the reason why it's like, okay, well, if you know, maybe the reason why some of these guys don't win sometimes is because they're simply not on a team that's good enough. But if you're on a team that's good enough, you know, naturally, would you be able to, you know, like, if you never played with that team before, could you still play or perform at a high level? You should be able to if you have the skill to match them, even with not having as many games played. The thing is, the obviously, if I were to replace Selly, the game would not play the same way. Just simply because I don't have any chemistry with the other guys, right? Or any true chemistry. I could maybe naturally have some chemistry with certain cuts, but it still wouldn't be as if Selly was controlling the damn puck, obviously. Now, if Selly were to join my team and I were to get cut, would Selly be able to carry the team to a win? Probably not, because the other guys would have to also be able to perform to his level. So there is still that, right? It's not like one player makes a great, you know, a whole huge difference, but it still would be a difference, you know, in terms of maybe how he controls the puck versus me. I don't know. Like, I'm not actually, you know, I don't have that many games in. I need consistent reps to reach the level that I currently want to reach. But I don't think from like a positioning standpoint, from a, you know, rotation standpoint, transition standpoint, like, there are some gaps in my gameplay, no doubt, obviously, right? But I don't think I'm that far off as a player individually. From like an IQ standpoint, like what these guys are doing is not that crazily hard to understand. You just have to you just have to have like so many reps into the game to see the same things that these guys are seeing, to play at the same level that these guys are playing. Different play styles are a factor too, but the thing is, I don't think these guys play differently. Like, what is the different play style? Maybe one guy doesn't control the puck as often. Like, the difference between what's the difference between this guy and this guy versus this guy and this guy? They still control the puck the same way. They still try to find the same cuts in the, you know, in terms of the breakouts. They still play defense the same way. There's not really a difference in their game. It's just some guys do it better. Like, I don't. If I were to compare this guy with this guy with this guy and this guy, the conversation in my mind is this guy versus this guy as being the best. I mean, you're talking about Doughty, who's played alongside Dumoulin. This guy doesn't control the puck as much as Dumoulin, but that doesn't mean that, like, they're not at the same level. You know, if this guy had to control the puck more, does that mean that they enter the zone less? I don't think so. It's just one guy, you know, it's just, I think it's just based on the team that you're playing with. Because like the way that I see the game, if it makes sense for me to try to draw it out, as I've kind of like displayed, like I had a little graphic a little bit in terms of like, you know, I know I only really have one color here, but of like this grade scale, right? Of like, all right, this is high level, this is like medium on par, and this is like super low level. These guys obviously, when they set the bar, they set it at the very top. They show you how far you have to go. But when you kind of widen that scale in terms of the different play styles, it kind of turns into more of like a triangle / pyramid thing, where like this is the different play styles that the guys have versus the skill level that is seen. So when you get to the high level area, there's a little bit less of a range in terms of how differently the guys play because of how good they are. Like, they all play the same. That's why they're playing at this level. Like, they all know how to rotate and transition, and it's not like they do it differently than other teams. It's not like these guys are like, I don't know. Like, it's not like a team has like come in and completely changed the way the game is played. They all play the game the same. They reset the play when they need to. They try to play quick when they need to. In the offensive zone, they try to find one-timers, cut plays, etc. Everything is played sort of identical when you look at the play styles between the two teams. It's just who can do it better. Nobody has can't come in and sort of revamp the whole entire way of playing. They haven't, you know, whatever, invented a new way of playing. Sort of like maybe reinvented the wheel. Like no team has done that that's come in here and played at this level. The thing is, these guys all play at like this level, like at the very peak, where it's like it's all the same type of style. It's just who is the better team overall, because it's so tight when it gets to this level. It's just, how do you get to a team that is like you have a guy that's somewhere here. That's kind of a bad graphic. You have a guy that's like here. You have another guy that's here. You have another guy that's here. You have another guy that's here and here, trying to play, and it kind of averages out maybe somewhere. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing somewhere there, middle of the pack, and you're like a decent team. The problem is you want to get all the guys that are like somewhere here, all 5 guys to be here, because then that just propels the entire team to be at that high level. Like, one guy can't carry a team. You got to have 5 guys that sort of complete the whole team. This is how I see it. I don't know. Yeah, like if you have one bad egg, that like completely downgrades the team. Like, hate to say it, but that's really how it is. Now, there are some guys, though, I feel like, I don't know, maybe they play better when you have guys around this level. Like, maybe a guy averages out here, but because he's playing with these guys, it sort of propels him up a little bit. Versus maybe when you have, you know, you're here and you have these other guys here, you feel like you have to do more, and maybe you actually lessen your own level skill. That's another thing that's in like the back of my head, where like you almost play worse because you feel like you have to do more, and when you do more, you actually are overcomplicating the game. Because, you know, when we say we should simplify the game, you're gonna simplify your own position in terms of what you need to do. When you feel like you have to carry, you feel like you might have to do a little bit more than what you're supposed to do. And what winds up happening is you try to do something, you make it work, you know, and you wind up doing things outside of the way you usually play. You're playing with other guys that are actually competent, and it actually downgrades you. But that's another thing. I've always noticed that, like, when I'm in slumps, when I'm playing with a team that isn't necessarily at that level yet, and we're clearly playing a team that's better. Sometimes when I'm in slumps where I kind of like, I don't stand out because I'm actually playing worse than how I should be. It's simply because I'm overcomplicating the game. I'm not And what always gets me out of a slump isn't more repetition, isn't, you know, approaching the game from a different stand. It's simply just simplifying the game. Like, if I just understand what I should be doing as a winger, a center, defenseman, whatever it is, and I just simplify my game, the game winds up making more sense to me, and then I actually play just a lot better. Like the saying of less is more actually makes sense. Because when you do less at times, right? When you're trying to do too much, when you do less, the game actually opens up and you actually are just making plays, you know, as opposed to trying to do too much. And then you wind up making a lot of mistakes. Like, you feel like you have to force plays. You feel like you have to control this puck a lot more, and it just doesn't really work. I miss the threes content. What, with optional or I don't know. I mean, we just haven't really been playing threes that much. I just haven't been playing. Actually, if you think about it, I really just haven't been playing the game as much as at all. At least in terms of as much as I want to. I mean, do you want like live streams of threes, or you just, you know, if it's like videos or something? I mean, I'd be willing to do it. At this point where I stand is like, I just want to get reps in, you know, with like guys that I want to build around. The problem is like we just can't get these guys sometimes on. Biz like optional versus Elite 1 team. Well, we haven't really been playing against those guys, and actually we have been we've kind of gone into a little bit of a slump against some of these teams as well when we played threes. I haven't really had a good rep against a solid team in a little bit now. Any highlight games I'll take? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll try to post it whenever, you know, I'm able to, but some of those videos too just don't really do too well. I mean, that's not like that doesn't necessarily discourage me in terms of making it, but I don't know. I just don't really do those videos too often. I mean, I probably could, to be honest. I probably should, because I'm like kind of just running dry on some content a little bit. Like, what I really want to start doing, I mean, I've been trying to make this one video for so long, and I just like can't find the right film. I had film set up for like a little tutorial video, and then for some reason, as I was about to record the audio for it, I like rendered it. As I was about to record the audio, it like deleted the whole thing. So all the clips that I had just disappeared. So I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck? So now I had to reset it and like find new clips. And then of course, you know, I don't have the games in to be able to draw the clips from. At least like decent reps, you know, like decent clips where I'm actually playing good. So I feel like I have been gone a little bit lackluster playing defense at times. So I don't actually play the position how I want to. And I've been trying to get this video done for some time, but I literally just can't find the clips, and I don't have the time really sometimes to search for it either. I don't know. I do want to actually start doing just more like weekly like gameplay videos, just trying to something to get some content out. Sixers has a bigger fan base because of real hockey for sure. Yeah, I mean, but I don't think it's much different though. Like, I don't think that there's more of a fan base to Sixes necessarily from like a viewer standpoint to like. I think it just depends on the type of video that I'm trying to upload. Like from threes to sixes, I don't think it's much different. Just in terms of like the intensity of the video, I guess. Like if it's the like stakes of the video, I feel like people are less inclined to watch a scrim game versus like you know, like a scrim game in 6s versus like a elite game in 3s. Because those videos sometimes do well. It's like, you know, the games against the Elite 1 guys, right? It's like, oh, wow, Elite 1. Like, people are more inclined to click that. Versus like, oh, this team, high-level scrims. Like, what? Who the hell cares about that? Unless it's like a league game, right? Like, if we somehow got the Caps finals and contenders, right? I feel like there'd be a lot of eyes on that. Naturally, right? Because it's like, oh, it's finals, playoffs. There's stakes to the video. You know? You could win something here. And it would do well. Versus just like, oh, highlights. I'm getting into my groove. Like, that shit don't do well. I don't know. I think it just depends. Like, like, none of that stuff necessarily stops me from making a video, but it's just sometimes I don't feel motivated to do it. And that's kind of one thing I need to just start doing is just, you know, just start uploading like whatever. Like, I also do want to actually touch on like HUT content. I don't know if that, you know, I do kind of want to try out HUT like for the first time ever, like really give it a good solid go, because like I've always like despised it, but they've had so many updates to it, and it's like honestly their main game mode, right? So like, why not give it a full go and actually like not just bash the fuck out of it and be like, all right, what could we actually learn here in HUT? Just kind of create a series from that. And then of course be a pro as well. I've always wanted to get back into that, but like it just wasn't really performing well in the beginning, and I'm just like, well, from an editing standpoint, is it worth it? I don't know. It's kind of just like the return on the video sometimes. Just like to watch it improve in 3s. Also really entertaining. HUT sounds great too. But yeah, I'll definitely start posting more of that just gameplay in general. I feel like that's kind of just what I need to do. But I also need to play the game more. Like, really, the reason why I'm not posting is simply because I haven't been playing the game. Or it's simply because we don't have the guys to play. So, like, I'm like, oh, well, I'll just take tonight off because nobody else is playing the game, right? And sometimes I don't like playing drafts because it's just like, it takes forever to get into a draft game. And it's just like, oh, I'm only doing it for one game then at that point because, like, I don't really have much time to play. And it's like, got just everything, you know, when I'm really looking at it. I don't know about Be a Pro. Well, I mean, the reason I want to give Be a Pro a look is because of them overhauling it and like sort of fake as revamping it in some way. Because I did Be a Pro back in 21, and I was going to kind of compare it to how it is now. Because again, it's just something that I could do, and I could just upload as many times as I want to in terms of that. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'll probably start with HUT first, though, to be honest. And maybe go into more stuff. But yeah, like World of Shell is still going to be obviously the main thing that I'm doing. But yeah, that was it for that. I mean, you can kind of see the way that these guys are playing, right? I was kind of showcasing it this last, like, whatever, 10 minutes or whatever. Just kind of letting whoever wants to watch it, right? Because obviously you can't watch it once it's live. Like, once the stream was done, you couldn't even go back and watch it. I had to record it live while it was happening to get it. Otherwise, I would lose it forever. So I didn't want to do that. But yeah. So I think I'm going to call it there. That's it for this one. There's not enough educational content on this game. You're the only reason I'm half decent. Oh, really? I love to hear that, man. But yeah, actually, I will agree with that. I don't really see too many guys doing it. Like, there'll be guys that break down stuff from like HUT, like, oh, how to play defense in HUT, but not in EASHL, right? Like, there's not enough tutorials on that. I'm like the only guy that's really in the space doing that. I mean, maybe there's some guys doing it, but like, there might be videos out there, but the YouTube algorithm doesn't want to push it. So that's another thing. But I don't know. I do need to just start posting as much as I can. I feel like really what I want to start doing. But yeah. So yeah, that's the end of this film review. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll hit you guys next time. We'll see what we're gonna do next live stream, and we'll keep the scrims going with the guys that we've been doing it with. So I will catch you guys next time. I appreciate you guys for watching as well.